Hello and welcome to the Brunton podcast series. I'm sure everyone's picked up the news last week about a very significant investment from a family business up in Scotland. Delighted to be joined by Donald and Michael McLaren and Steve Railton. Wonderful story from north of the border, gentlemen. Thanks for joining this morning. Donald, let's come to you first. 13.5 million quid investment, big plans. Obviously, you're well known within the corrugated and sort of solid board industry, but this is a big move from your company that you acquired called Compack Cartons. Tell us a little bit about it. Really exciting story.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Yeah, certainly a very big move for us as a business. I think to take it back where this started, the history, we've obviously been a business in corrugated initially, predominantly with the drinks industry and whiskey up here in Scotland. And over the years, we've diversified into other types of packaging. We moved into tube packaging, round and shaped tubes about 15 years ago. We've got solid board divisions. We've got rigid boxes, really just following demand from our drinks customers. And then 5 years ago, as you say, we acquired Compack Cartons, and we see the opportunity to really grow that business. And we've made this significant investment in combination of the building and the very high spec equipment in this plant to produce very high quality folding cartons for luxury, premium and drinks customers. And this investment will also allow us to internalize some of the volume that we currently purchase across our businesses. So yeah, it's a very largest investment the company's made in its history by quite some long way. So there have been some quite brave pills to take, but we're confident with what we're doing. We're confident our market is going to continue to grow. And to be successful, you have to invest in the best equipment, the best people, and the best site.
And Donald, before I move across to some of the other guys on the call, obviously paper-based, fiber-based packaging is where you're specialising. There seems to be an awful lot of moves within the industry from other players. There's new facilities being built as we speak by some of the other corrugated groups within Scotland. Sustainability obviously is at the heart of everything you guys are after. So give us some of the sort of background information. You were talking about, you acquired effectively an older facility and renovated it. So what sort of headaches did that give you? And how did the Scottish government sort of step up and assist? Because obviously I know that there was a big member of parliament who came to do the ribbon cutting for you. So give us some of that background of, from the sustainability angle and then also from the governmental side of things.
Yeah, so from sustainability, as a paper-based manufacturer, there's a lot of activity in our area and a lot of opportunity. There's also, we have to be mindful as well, there are threats around sustainability that if we don't get this right and we don't educate our customers, then there's a risk of depackaging. So we're very aware of that. But, we're optimistic, and certainly in paper-based packaging, there's more opportunities than there is threats or risks. So we're seeing very significant movement from our customer base, demanding more sustainable packaging, demanding more clarity of information, exactly where materials are coming from, exactly how things are manufactured. And that is driving a reshoring as well of packaging from further afield, Eastern Europe and Asia, coming back into the UK, which is great for UK businesses. So that drive and demand is there. In terms of our level of investment, what's partly driven the high numbers, it has been the building. We've bought an older building and reused it and modernized it. That did present a lot of challenges. We went way over budget because when you buy an older building, there are things you just uncover along the way, such as poor ground conditions when you go to put foundations in for machines that cost you significantly more than you expect. And other challenges around the fabric of the building. But it's the right thing to do is to reuse what's already there where you can. But it's certainly quite an expensive pastime. But it's the right thing to do because our approach to sustainability is to be sustainable for life, because we've got a long-term view. So yeah, it's been a challenge, but it's a challenge we've relished.
Mm-hmm. And from the governmental side of things, because obviously, as we said earlier, we had quite a high-profile member of parliament come and actually look around and sort of officially open it. So, what sort of levels of engagement were you having with the Scottish government?
Yeah, so until the opening, we had very little engagement with the government directly itself. We do have good engagement with their main agency, Scottish Enterprise in Scotland, and we have been supported by Scottish Enterprise for coming on 20 years, and at various stages in the growth of our business, we have been supported very well by Scottish Enterprise through advice and through grant funding. So when we received our first grant about just over 15 years ago, we employed 40 people with turnover of 8 million. We now employ 300 here in Scotland with turnover approaching 50 million. So we're a real success story. So we've had good support from the government's agency, Scottish Enterprise, but the government itself has been under criticism recently here in Scotland. There's obviously been a change of leader, with Hamza Yousaf now leading the party, and there's a renewed focus by the government, which is great to see, to refocus with business and get to know business and understand business better. So Neil Gray, who is the new cabinet minister in Scotland for the wellbeing economy, he came out to open the building, which was good. So we got to meet him and put our positive case for manufacturing and jobs and growth here in Scotland. So we're pleased that the government is starting to re-engage with business again.
Great. Now, in a minute, we're going to come back to the McLaren office, and Michael will have a chat about customer base, etc. But Steve, I'd like to come to you now. Steve, obviously the general manager, I think, of Compack Cartons, MD. Steve, must have been a wonderful project to sink your teeth into, but the logistics of moving from an old site to a new site and juggling everything, you've probably had your back up against the wall for a while. So tell us a little bit about the background, how you came to the team to say, look, we think we need to get this investment done. In terms of the people as well, obviously really exciting for them to be in a state-of-the-art facility now.
Yeah, I mean, I joined the Compack team about a year after the McLaren took over the site, and what we wanted to do was to have a look at the business and to see whether we could, it was an investable business, and whether we could expand it. We did a couple of years on that project. We worked that we believe there was potential there. There is potential. Along with Donald and Michael, we discussed the options of what we could do. We started looking it was very keen for us to keep the business within the Livingston area. We've got a very loyal workforce, although relatively small. The turnover and the length of service, we've got guys here that are 40 years, 35, 20 years plus service, in a very small team. So it's keen for us to keep that in Livingston. We looked around the area, and the facility very close to old Compack became available. So we made a plan, and then COVID hit. So we did all of our planning on Teams, and on papers that we were sharing. And it was a bit of a development, a work in progress throughout Teams, to see where we got to. But the big challenge that we had, we were going from very, very old technology, very solid, robust technology at Compack, moving to state-of-the-art equipment that we've got in new Compack. And there really is a parallel of two worlds almost, just across the fence, what we've got between the old and the new.
So, Steve, let's have a little bit of a look at the technology. We don't need to go into all of the details, but obviously you're a very proud Koenig Bauer house. You've got the state-of-the-art BOBST master foil and various die casters, etc. So obviously an emphasis very much on ultra high quality.
Yeah, we believe that the value-added packaging, the luxury packaging is where our future is. And to support that, we know how demanding our customers are. So we've gone for what we believe to be the best. We've got incredible amounts of quality control, inline process checking. We believe we spec the machines to be right at the very top of what's available out there. We believe that the print press is the most advanced out there currently at the moment, and we've followed that suit all the way through with our foil blocking. We've gone for a BOBST Master foil, again for its registration systems and its ability to hit those tolerances time in, time out. And that machine shares the same technology as the BOBST die cutter. So we've got that same quality emphasis right the way through, and down to the gluing.
And Steve, now you've transitioned across into the new facility, I'm guessing the whole team came across. But I mean, looking forward, because obviously we all know that in the sort of manufacturing industries that staff retention is obviously a hot topic for all business owners right now. Obviously, you're now fully spec state of the art, so hopefully that's a good positive message for local employment, right?
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, our recruitment trajectory is quite high. We've been pretty successful so far. We've brought some new members into the team. We were very keen. We were aware right from the start that we would be at this stage doubling our workforce, and we were very keen to make sure that the strong quality culture that Compack had was maintained, and the kind of family feel of the site was maintained. So the recruitment process has been mainly driven by making sure we had the right fit. We've been pretty fortunate to pick up some great staff, and we've retained all of our existing staff. So it's yeah, there has been challenges, but we've managed to get over them. We're currently recruiting. We're actively advertising at the moment for more roles, and on the back of the press release, we're starting to get significant interest in our adverts that's out there.
Fantastic. Well, Michael, I'd like to come across to you now, because obviously, as Donald said right at the beginning, you know, McLaren has a wonderful history and legacy within the sort of corrugated market. The move into Compack for the folding carton side of things, a bit of a step change. But Michael, how would you sort of summarize what does the typical customer look like at Compack?
Yeah, it's a great question, Dan. For us, the typical customer is a customer who understands value, quality, and service. You know, we've never shied away or hidden away from the fact that we're perhaps not the cheapest producer in the market. However, if you want your quality right and you want your deliveries on time, then we're the type of company that you would like to work with. And I think that's fundamental to our approach, right from corrugate all the way through to cartons and everything in between that Donald mentioned in terms of divisions, tubes, and rigid boxes. You know, that's an absolutely key part of our approach and something that we look to replicate across the businesses.
Mm-hmm. And Michael, how have the customers reacted to this? Obviously, it's all very positive PR, but I mean, what's the overall feedback been?
It's been really encouraging for us, Dan. Our customers, generally speaking, want to do more with us, and for them, this is a great opportunity on both sides. We have now got some of the most advanced kit in the marketplace to produce the highest quality cartons, and in the marketplace that we operate in, where we see our future, that is absolutely critical to their success at a global level. So yeah, it's on both sides. There's a reason why we're doing this. We've always followed the guidance of our customers, and many of our investment decisions. We've been very much customer-led business from the start, and you know, they're, dare I say, equally as excited as we are about this investment and this opportunity for both parties.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of you know, when we're looking at what's been happening in the sort of paper-based packaging market over the last 5 months or so, I mean, there's been rapid fall off in demand in certain areas. I mean, without looking at any specific customers or customer type, I mean, how have you guys fared as a group? And do you feel that having the multiple offerings from one hand has basically kept you at the forefront?
Yeah. Donald, do you want to pick that one up? Yeah, I was going to say it's been interesting, Dan. As you touch on, we've got a range of paper-based packaging products, and they go into different parts of the marketplace. And yes, certainly some of our businesses are feeling that softness in demand that has been going on for the last 5 months. But then our businesses that are trading more at the luxury and very high premium end, they've not really missed a beat, because that segment of the market has remained resilient, has remained strong, and that's part of what McLaren's ethos historically, and we continue to build in that diversification to allow us to ride out the ups and downs. Don't get me wrong, there's certainly challenges out there, and making this level of investment does cause a few sharp intakes of breath when, you know, we also made this investment before the economy's softened up recently. But for us, at the end of the day, this is a long-term investment. We've bought equipment that's got long life. We've invested in our own facility, and our facility is of a size that we can double the footprint of all our equipment and our capability. So we're thinking long-term. So although there'll be some short-term challenges, we remain fully confident about the long-term outlook.
Mm-hmm. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much indeed for joining us today. It's been absolutely wonderful to listen to the background. As we say, a massive amount of investment, the largest in your business's history. So obviously wishing you all the best, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Dan. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you.
Yes.